Welcome one and all. We're in for a real treat at this classic circuit here today. The crowd are ready to go, the cars are ready to go. We're just about set for lights out. Welcome to the Italian Grand Prix. With top speeds reaching 215 miles per hour, only a few places can challenge Monza's crown as the fastest track in Formula One. Hard braking zones going into the 3 chicanes make up the majority of the 11 corners on this 3.6-mile circuit. And just in case the slipstream wasn't enough, 2 DRS zones will help encourage some close action.
Hello everybody, welcome to Formula 4. Before we go into any of our normal proceedings, we are going to have a 1-minute silence for the sad passing of our Queen Elizabeth II. Such a terribly sad time at the moment here in the UK and all of the Commonwealth, mourning the passing of our Queen. But we will now move on to normal proceedings here at Formula 4. We will get this race underway. And we are here for round 8 at Monza. And as usual, I am not alone. I am joined by Diggle. Diggle, how are you?
Good evening, Bloom. Yes, I'm good, and that was such a beautiful way to start the stream off this evening. Yes, a great loss that our country has, and of course our thoughts and prayers go on to the families and the royals as they are. But do turn our attention towards the action this evening. Last week we did see a hell of a ding-dong between Wouter and Pease, so we'll be seeing who comes out on top this evening.
Yes, we are seeing this interesting battle come on. Wouter joining us late this season. So he's only just did a debut last week for a full-time team. But yes, he is really bringing the action. But there's only 4 points currently that separate the top 2 drivers here in the European division, Pease and DJ Death Dragon. Curtis tailing behind, 24 points, but he's still up there, still up for a 3rd place finish for this season, so interesting to see how this goes on. But as you say, will Wouter bring the storm, bring the ding-dong here at Monza? So we will have to wait and see as we get our first qualifying session underway.
I think I'll leave you to ask that question if you ever get the opportunity.
Asking Wouter if he's bringing the ding-dong? Oh,
yeah, I think I'll leave that to you.
I see wetness on my screen falling from the sky.
Well, this is going to be spicy.
Ooh, wet, spicy wet. Oh, and look at that. You pull up the detail on the spectator screen and they are on full wets. Full wets.
Obviously, we can't see in regards to what's happening in the later sessions, but looking at the grey clouds there, I don't think we're going to see much of a change. I guess we can throw out the window someone trying to beat last season's pole time, eh?
Yes, yeah. And normally we do see a scramble out the pits as people try to get out first on track, but there's not much action going on right now. I see energetics flick to the inters for a second, then back to wets, back to inters. Is he going to toy with going out there? But as Diggle just said, looking at this rain and looking at the fact that the game has set them to full wets, it's going to take a long time for this track to dry out. So yes, we may be in for a A lot of waffle today. Trying to fill in the minutes here on the stream. We're already a minute and a half down, and we only see one car crawling out, and that is the Samsung of Walker.
I mean, if there's one thing we're good at, Bloom, is waffle. But
Yes.
the way these guys have given us all this, well, I say the spectacle they've been giving us all season so far, add a bit of water to it. Not only that, Glock, rain, is this going to be the race?
Is that Glock? I don't know. We will see. No, we're currently riding on board with Walker. So sorry for the dramatics there, but yes, our place 2 champion at the minute. Is that a thing? Place 2 champion? Anyway, Death Dragon is coming out for Marlborough. He's going to explore this track. Everybody who's out is on full wets currently. So let's see. But this is the interesting thing, and something that we don't know yet, as Diggle was saying, the track for the race, we don't know what the conditions are going to be. So this qualifying session, are these chaps running wet setups? Are they running dry setups? Ready in preparation for the race? We don't know. We don't know. But
Well, we've had it with the beauty of this game where Q1 and Q2 can be wet, but Q3 can dry up right at the end. So we really are left in guessing what's going to happen next.
The Samsung starting the first flying lap here for round 8.
Yeah, he's had a very nice clean exit out the Parabolica. He's definitely explored the track limits on his outlap, but the tricky part for these boys this evening is going to be nailing that braking zone into this tricky chicane, turns 1 and 2. He's kept it clean, not touching the outside curb on exit, so not trying to run the car out too wide there, and he's going to have this long right-hander at the Curva Grande to see if he can get this long drag and carry as much speed into this, again, next chicane. This track is filled with a couple of them that can catch you out if you take too much curb. He's run up using all the track, bit of kick off the rear there as he gets the foot down into the first of the 2 Lesmos. Nice and tidy entrance, and he hasn't gone too wide again there on exit, and again he's going to throw it into the second Lesmo now. Just wants to straighten up as soon as possible just to try and get as much speed as possible coming down into Ascari. This of course will be one of the DRS zones come the race, so one of the overtaking opportunities if someone's brave enough. It's going to break just around the 50, he's just going to have to chuck it in and hope the car sticks, which it has done. And not to take too much curb, he can unsail the car like he hasn't. Oh, he's lost the back end, unfortunately.
Yeah, you can see the pure concentration that he had to take, applying the traction coming out of the corners. So really,
yeah, he had a couple of rear end moments on his outlap and had a couple lockups, so he definitely was struggling to find the boundaries of the car, but he's managed to get that car going just with enough time before the 2 Marlboros behind of DJ, and I believe that is Kiesa.
Yeah, even DJ tentative on the loud pedal as he comes around Parabolica, but sets the first time of the 1:31.2, but immediately beaten by his teammate for 1:30.6. And again, we have to ask the questions. Our setup, I'm on board with Xerxes, but he's just passed the Castrol, which is in the gravel.
Pillars. Sorry to interrupt there. Pillars going P2. I know he's only split there's only 3 Marlboros of set at time, but practically matching Kiesa.
Sorry, yes.
No, by all means, please fill me in there because I missed what happened there.
Yeah, Slops was off. In fact, no, his car's just disappeared. It was in this end of the second sector here where Slops' car was away, but we also had another yellow flag and Droftas retired as well, but I don't think he was on track at the time.
I believe Droftas would have been a retire from pits. He did that last week. Obviously, he helped myself out in the commentary booth, so thank you very much, Droftas. But I think he said something along the lines of that he will be doing along this season just due to being in pot 3, something with the settings or what he's agreed with. But I have to ask the driver.
Yeah, it sounds like, as we discussed before, when Chewy's around, Chewy is around at Ascari. I couldn't think of it for the life of me, but he does a grand job getting out of the way of the other car there. So,
Well, I jumped on board with Glock briefly as he started his lap because I just wanted to see what the wet weather maestro could do. And unfortunately, he ran wide coming out of the second corner, and that was actually enough for the game to invalidate the lap.
yeah, I did see he had a red track map down on the bottom right, which meant he was invalid. Trying to figure out who's next to cross the line with valid
I personally thought it was Glock, but it might be Mikey G.
Mikey G. Yes, Mikey G, and then closely followed by
Mikey G getting a nice tow from his teammate there.
Not sure who
Coming down into the parabolica, so he could stop the car just enough time to carry the speed round. He had a bit of a wobble going in, but he's kept it nice. Oh, the back end again snapping. So these guys are really trying to get their foot down as soon as possible. But it is showing how tricky the conditions, is this evening.
Oh yes, and Michael G did cross the line with a 1:32.3, immediately beaten by Pease with 1:31.2. But Pease is what? 6 tenths off. Oh. Which is a little unusual, but this is early in the session. We still have 10 minutes left, and Ramsel, just as I go on board.
Yeah, I just flicked onto him to see when the next car was coming around, and it was him. Oh,
I bet you,
can this man get a break?
Yeah, he needs to have a stop watching him, that's all. But energetics, maybe the next time.
I looked at him as well, so we'll share the blame on that one.
Teaser. I don't know what's going on, but energetics.
I think Walker's had a moment at the first Lesmo as well. He's had a bit of a stationary car on track, but I'm just riding on board with Ruta, who's just come out the final corner, coming down to the line now for Puma, and he takes provisional pole by 6 tenths of 29.6.
Wow, that is incredible. Why weren't we watching him?
I mean, I was.
Oh, all right. I just clicked onto Glock, 1:29.8, so that is in response to Wuta. He's just over a tenth away from the Puma driver.
J Mart's just crossing the line there as well, jumping his Castro teammate with a 31.8 up into 7th. And I believe we had energetics, beg your pardon, someone set a lap time and I've missed it, I believe.
Pease. I don't know. I don't think he improved there, so he was probably doing a pull-down lap. Because in these wet conditions, I don't know if other drivers do this, but I know that you don't see much benefit from going light on the fuel. So it's
just to throw this out there. Just Mikey and Curtis. Well, Curtis is in the pits, but just Mikey's on track on Inters.
Yes, I am on board with just Mikey.
Oh, okay, good. I thought I was seeing things then. I thought there was a glitch in the game.
Previous Pot 4 champion, and he does usually make some very interesting tyre choices, but I think this might prove fruitful. Let's see as he comes across the line, as he's just entering into the third sector now, and he's got a yellow flag. He was a bit loose on the back there, coming through a
He's got a JPS right behind him, and he's moved out of the way.
So was that?
That would be Glock.
I think sometimes it's your automatic reaction when you see a car in the shape of Glock or Pease or Wuta in your mirror. You're thinking, do I want to be involved in this?
And the answer's always no.
Yes. Who else have we got on track right now?
Got Chewy in the middle of Sector 2 at the moment. Just going through the 2 Lesmos, just got through the second one now. He's coming down to the run to Ascari.
As I was trying to say earlier, Pease going again. This will be his 4th lap. Pillar's already done 4 laps, as has Dash Dragon. So yes, when the weather's like this, sometimes it takes a long time for the tyres to warm up. You don't see too much benefit from running extremely low fuel. So sometimes your best attack is to just load up the tank, put 10 laps in and just go. Keep going, because your tyres aren't going to wear out, because you're not going to get them too hot. And Yeah. That's what Keys is doing at the minute, I think. As well as...
And Keyser and Pillars have done the same.
Yeah. Pillars now on 5 laps. So who did just cross the line? Chewy going across the line. And Energetics. Yeah, his first representative time on the board, putting him 7th with a 1:31.2.
I've started to notice some of these teams are going out together because right now you've got Mikey G and J Marts running in a little train here, and they've just been pumping in the lap after lap. They just come through the Parabolica now, so it'll be interesting to see if they do finish the lap off this bit. You'd expect to see us more in the race, to be fair, like a DRS train forming.
Yes. Gluck improving on his time, but not able to beat Wouter just yet.
Mikey G improves to a 31.6, and J Marks goes to a 31 flat.
Oh, but
and
Pease knocks it out. 1:29.5. He's put a 10th in front of Wouter. And Wouter got a response. He's in the pits. He doesn't care. He's put on some inters. So we'll see how that works. A few more drivers experimenting with the inters.
Oh, the gauntlet has been thrown down, and more. You think about how many drivers are out, unfortunately, already.
Yes,
Sloth. We're only going to lose one driver on track for the session.
Yeah, Sloth and Walker, Ramsel, they can be fast on a good day. So, you know, opportunity now for the likes of Just Mikey, Bannister, and we have Blood and Sand. How did I miss that? Blood and Sand has joined.
I was just looking at that myself.
I don't.
Yeah. That's a name I didn't realise he was here as well until I looked at how many people were out. That's a name I've not seen in a while.
We've got Just Mikey on track. He's on a flyer, but he's got a Castrol immediately behind him. So they're both on a quali lap right now. Who is that behind him? That's Mikey G. So Mikey.
Well, Mikey G did just play like the conductor of the train earlier for his teammate J Mart, so he's probably wanting to return the favour with Just Mikey in front of him.
Just Mikey does improve. 1:32.2 moves him up to the 11th place, which, as you say, with these 4 drivers out of this session already, could be crucial to getting through to Q2 and have another shot at getting a higher position. And if we do,
the thing is, you can only do. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. If we do have a dry track, then, you know, they're all burning up these inter tyres. It wouldn't matter how many tyres you're wasting here in this qualifying session, because you'll then have a full remit of tyres to choose from for the race.
Yeah, and I was just keeping an eye actually on some of these guys that are doing these multiple runs. Mikey G is a prime example here. The battery is just empty, but he does have the fuel light flashing, so I can imagine he'll be in this lap.
Well, a few minutes left of the session. Mikey G does have a reasonable time, so he could be safe for now. But
I think the likes of Chewy, Just Mikey, Xerxes, Blood and Sand, waiting to see what that man's got in the tank this evening. Curtis is currently on a run at the moment.
Yeah, Bannister's looking to cross the line now. Oh, and it's 2 minutes. I think Death Dragon will be the next on intermediate tyres to cross the line with a representative time.
Yeah, Curtis has just gone purple in the middle sector as well on the inters, so I have a feeling the track is drying up.
Yeah, Curtis needing to get a time on the board, as does Blood and Sand. Blood and Sand has only got 3 minutes left of the session, and he doesn't have a time on the board yet.
And Wouter has retired in the pit, so he's confident with the time he's got, which, to be fair, I don't blame him.
Good to have that kind of confidence in it. Yeah, I'll just back it for now.
Curtis has come down across the line and up into P8 with a 30.7, and DJ with a 29.3.
There we have it, the intermediates, and as Diggle just called it, the track is improving. You are getting better traction now. That racing line really coming apparent.
Pillars looked like he had a moment through Parabolica there. I cut to him, he was going very slow out the exit.
Pease also has no front wing. So although he's set a time good enough to be sat in second place right now, if you was to lose a wheel here, that would demote you to pretty much 15th place, because you won't be able to take part in the Q2 section.
I mean, what's probably more dangerous is with the amount of time left on the board as well, what is the delta difference between the inters and the wets if it is that much different? then anyone who's got a lap time on the wets, you need to get in and change your tyres.
Well, it's probably near impossible to get a delta time between wets and inters because it all depends on the wetness of the track. For lack of
But you know as well as I, Bloom, that can change so quick. It can go from a couple of tenths to a couple of seconds.
It can change over a sector, can't it? You can go out with tyres that aren't ready, aren't good for the track, and then 3 corners later, that's it. You're romping.
Well, so I'm just keeping on board with Pillars, actually. I just want to see how he was doing, because I think this lap may be a bit of a write-off due to the exit of the Parabolica. I mean, it probably will be an improvement, but he's going to want to go again just to be safe.
Oh, and
Curtis up into P2.
Fantastic lap from Curtis, but them inters, they're getting up there.
Little train as well, just behind Pillars. I believe that's Keezer, and then we have Mikey G, and believe it or not, J-Marts, the 2 Castrals again. Running in a little train, and Keezer with a 28.8. The track is drying up. The times are dropping. Everyone needs to be out now.
Either that or they will be out now.
Well, I think we're not going to get the lap from Blood and Sand, unfortunately.
Just Mikey, I think that retired in the pits. He's on the cusp, basically, Xerxes and Blood and Sand. One of them needs to be slower than Mikey for him to go through. Oh.
Well, at the moment, Blood and Sand's not on track and he won't be setting a lap.
But Xerxes does set a lap, and that is a 1:30.0 for the Puma driver. So,
well, the only people that are classified as finishers at the moment is just Mikey G and Blood and Sand. So we've got everyone still setting laps.
Well, yes, but to be fair, it's kind of a moot point because unless anyone DNFs, it's not going to change our Q2 session we have, our 15 drivers through, as Blood and Sand is not to set a time, and Glock goes even faster again.
Glock, sorry, Bloom, that was Glock hearing you and just going, you know what, hold my phone.
Hold my beer.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I'm going to show him what's up. I'll go quicker.
For John Player Special, it's got to be, hold my phone. Yes, that is our Q1 session here. So we are losing basically retirees and Blood and Sand and Draftas, who the pair of those didn't set valid time.
Energetics, got to be careful. Nearly put it in the wall coming out of the Parabolica.
Not what you want to do. Like you say, you need 4
no, not
to
at
get
all.
Through to
you just kept it out of the inner armco.
Crossing the line.
Yeah, Bannister's in. That is everyone.
Yes. That is Q1 here at Monza, the Temple of Speed.
Oh, just having a look at the chat. In regards to this, Palace JB, have I missed much? Well, I believe the time that message may have come through, we had a couple incidents, unfortunately. We dropped a couple of drivers. The wet weather catching them out, and just wanted to touch on the next one there, Droftas. Bloom, super quiet today.
Again, I tried my other headset before we started, but it just doesn't seem to want to work, so I'm just going to ramp my volume up and hopefully I won't be bursting any eardrums. But there we have it, Q1 for round 8, Formula 4. So topping the table there, we've got Glock for JPS, really responding to that time Wouter set early on, but Wouter down in 7th now. But that doesn't really matter for now because this just decides who goes through to Q2. And the only ones who don't go through is Blood and Sand, Walker, Sloth, Ranzel, and Droftas. So,
and well, a trend we weren't used to seeing, and it happened last week. It's happened again. We've lost a Castrol in Q1.
Yes.
But both Puma boys of Wouter and Xerxes doing a very good job to make sure they got through to Q2. And Marlborough so far, unfortunately, dropping Ramsel, but the other 3 drivers looking very strong already in the wet weather.
As per.
Let's see what the weather's going to be like into Q2. And unlike in real life, where there wouldn't be much of a change, this game, because of whatever they do, can just change it in a matter of seconds. So
Still spitting. Let's pull up the tyres. But the game has set everybody to intermediate tyres at the start of this session, whereas Q1, it was all set on full wets. And I can see some engineers directing some drivers out already. So Death Dragon pulling the trigger straight away, wanting to get out there and respond to Glock's Q1 threat time.
I mean, someone needs to get down there and tell them to put their coats on. They're going to catch a cold if they stand out there in a shirt and trousers.
Sorry, Mum. But yes, I mean, we've seen it in Q1. We will probably see it again in Q2 as we've got all three Marlboro straight out for this session. But will we have track evolution? Will we have the weather change? Will the track dry up? Will we see a dry racing line appear? Giving the drivers more traction, more speed, and better qualifying times to get through to our Q3 knockout.
What I find interesting there is Keys left the pits third out of the three Marlboros, and Pillars didn't think twice about moving out of the way to let him through. So clearly Pillars is wanting that toe and probably finding it a bit more needed than maybe Kieser is this evening.
J Mart's making use of the runoff at the end of the start-finish straight. So I wonder if that was a setup issue or what. But Death Dragon coming round at Parabolica, looking to start the first qualifying lap of this Q2 session. You'll have to let me know how the volume is as well, Droftas, if you get a moment.
I'm quite surprised there's not more drivers out on track, to be honest. I thought there'd be more people wanting to get out there early.
Possibly, but...
Unless they can see it is going to dry up.
Yes. Have we seen that in Q1? Are we going to see that here in Q2? Will we see some slick tyres in Q3?
Well, I mean, I'm personally hoping for it, because that would really mix it up again, but I think there are certain drivers here, not naming anyone Glock, would want it to stay wet.
Yeah, but that could be game specific. We know that Glock was mean in the wet on the last game, but this game could be a completely different story. Is that Glock in front of Death Dragon? I can't. Oh no, he's in the pits. Kurt's in the pits, so it must be Bannister on an outlap in front of the Marlboro of Death Dragon. You need him to get out of the way pretty sharpish, and he does very well. Moves out of the way. Coming down the final sector in the race, if it is dry, this will be a DRS straight. Heavy braking into Parabolica. Coming round, where are we going to see this first qualifying time? And a 1:28.1. That, I think, was faster than Glock's Q1 time.
It is. The track is drying.
And if only Marlboro could stop the count right now with Marlboro 1, 2, 3 with their remaining cars, but they are the only three to have set a lap so far. So let's see who's next.
Next across the line, we're going to see Xerxes, and then we're going to have the little sea of oil, as you say, of J Martz and Chewy, and then Wouter.
Xerxes setting a 1:31.8, so let's see where everyone else comes.
Chewy with a 30.1.
And J Martz with a pit.
However, where is Wouter? He is coming around the Parabolica now. He's down to the line. Where is the Puma driver going to go? He's going to go fifth.
Ooh, that's interesting. Maybe that's a sandbagger. Maybe he's doing a Mercedes on us and not really showing the full potential, because Glock on the chat saying this is probably my only chance all season to get a pole, and it's slim at best. So,
and then a hashtag going out in the chat there, hashtag pray for Glock.
At least he has a fan. He has a fan. That's something I never thought I'd hear anyone say. Hashtag pray for Glock. Fair play.
That's what I
GG's.
was thinking. Out of all the seasons and years raced along him, well, I say alongside him, far behind him, but yeah,
Alongside him with blue flags waving.
that was the only time I was alongside him.
But I got to mention,
Mikey G though will be next across the line, I believe.
yeah, but I've got to throw it in there. Bannister, fantastic time, 1:29.8, putting in provisional 4th right now.
Oh, stellar lap for the JPS driver.
Yes.
And Mikey G crossed the line and splitting the two Pumas with a 30.6.
Xerxes in the pits. Glock just starting an outlap. Hashtag pray for Glock. Let's see what them prayers can bring. Hopefully a tsunami, but let's see. As Glock said, slim at best. Let's see what slim at best translates to for the JPS driver.
I don't know, maybe he's double bluffing. I think he's got something up his sleeve here, surely.
Well, maybe Wooters chucked them sandbags out his car and they've dropped straight into Glocks.
I mean, then again, saying that, is it me? Does the game actually look like we're getting a drying line?
It does. It does. You can definitely see as we ride on board with the JPS driver at Glock, you see a definite racing line, which is much drier than off the racing line. And the rain is still coming, but it's definitely lighter than it was in the first session.
Oh, definitely the sprinklers have been turned down.
I like Bernie Eccleston. He wanted to fit sprinklers to tracks, didn't he?
It just wouldn't be realistic, though, you know, on some circuits.
But what have we got coming round? J-Marts.
Oh, Glock's lost the back end a little bit. He's had a slide. I don't know if you caught that. He had a bit of a drift, and he caught it, but the back end definitely looked like it went. It doesn't matter.
Wow.
Yeah, hashtag pray for Glock. He clearly doesn't need it.
Hashtag prayers answered. Wooter not able to
Wooter
respond.
coming through with a 27.8. So Glock beating Wooter.
I want to know what Glock's slim definition is. Because it won't be me. So who have we got? Curtis just coming out of the pits. Bannister coming down. He's got an invalid lap right now. Just Mikey and Peas. They're on an out lap right now, just warming up. Just Mikey in front. Wonder how much further in front he will be after this.
J-Mart again getting a bit of a slide. Sorry to jump in there through one of the Lesmos, but again he caught it. The drivers are clearly pushing, trying to find where the dry patches are. What can they do? But Energetics is actually going to come down to the line now to get his first time on the board. Where he's going to put the reserve car up into P6 with a 29 flat.
No, that's a very fair time for Energetics. So Mikey G is invalid, but he's got one of his Castrol teammates in front, J-Marts. Oh, no. I'm telling lies.
A bit chewy, because J-Marts is just rounding the Parabolica now. J-Marts down across the line to get on the board, and again joins his Castrol teammates.
You did say he was sideways slightly, so that might be the reason for that time on the board there, but...
Excuse me.
Xerxes, 1:31.8. I don't think he improved on that lap.
No, but his teammate Wooter's just come out either right behind the pit, or he's on a run right behind him.
Very interesting. He's taken a very wide line. I think he let Xerxes through there. Yeah, because he's 2 seconds down on his time at the moment. And
So maybe that was a toe then.
Yeah, Xerxes is a second down on his time, so definitely some team play there, trying to get the second and only other Puma driver through. And we got some movement on the board. What was that?
And Pease has crossed the line with a 28.0.
Yeah, and just Mikey also putting it P9 with a 1:29.3. And energetics, I
Xerxes had a
think, ran
bit of a
again.
wobble through the Lesmos. Again, there's a couple of the drivers that are losing the back end as they go over the curbs. Oh, sorry. Just to direct attention to the chat there. First of all, Gogs with Hallelujah, but Glock, used tyres and fastest, been a while. I've never known a man to be so humble.
But we see Xerxes, I think he didn't have the best of time through Scary, as you say. But he did improve in his
those
time.
two right-handers of the Lesmos, they're just catching people out.
That was Curtis. Curtis put in a time up on the board, 1:28.3. And in P6, pushing just Mikey
And
out.
next across the line, we should have Bannister. He's on a flying run at the moment. And we have a Castrol round by the looks of it, down at the chicane. Yeah, we do. Chewy's gone off at the second chicane.
Yeah, there was some things going on over there. J Marks went straight across.
He's with a 27.5.
Wow. Well, that
Oofed.
must be with fresh tyres
Big
rather than
oofed.
used, like Glocks. Glock. All goes up in smokes if it dries up. Princess Phoebe. It's all those prayers. Who we got?
Right, next across the line, we're going to have Pillars for Marlborough.
Yeah, fresh.
He's going to make sure he gets away from that drop zone. He's 5 tenths clear at the moment. Does he improve as he crosses the line? 28 stays, I believe, with a 28.7.
Right, where else are we? I'm lost. Curtis just crossed the line. Still P6. JMR's getting pulled into the garage. Who we've got coming around Parabolica? We have Bannister. Now, he did set quite an impressive time early on in the session as it just dried out too much and everybody else is picking up the slack. He was a little bit slower there, nearly 3 tenths, but yeah, still through to Q3 for now. Wabstaffen.
Well, next down across the line is going to be Peas. Doesn't improve.
11 seconds down, so I think that was a recharge lap. Energetics coming into the pits. Peas coming round for a second lap on them tyres. Energetics retiring in the pits.
I mean, he's 7 tenths clear. Is he confident that that's going to be enough? Well, I presume so.
Well, he didn't really have enough time to go again if he wasn't.
Wooter was 27.3. Jeez.
Xerxes really struggling now. I think, he's must be having some issues because he doesn't seem to be able to get that time any further down.
Well, he did unfortunately have a slight issue last week, I believe it was, in regards to brakes and suffering with a bad back. So we don't know if he's fully back with it, but Bannister down across the line, improves to a 29 flat, doesn't change position though.
No, that could mean the difference there between him being in and out. But Curtis was going awfully slow there. I don't know if he ran out of fuel or what. But
I think he may have gone for a tow on Glock, but Glock was just started a flying lap now. So we're seeing a lot of team play going on here at the moment. Wooter's moved out of the way of Xerxes. So Xerxes again going for a run.
Just to point out as well, Wooter setting that time on 7 lap old inters. In fact, it stopped raining now as well.
That could be it then. That could definitely be helping these drivers, but
Wooter's ran out of fuel.
what can Xerxes do? He needs a lap out of the car now. He's not going to get across for another run. This is going to be it for the Puma driver. He's going to be the first guy across the line. And where's he going to go? Up into P8 with a 28.2.
He has knocked Bannister out of this session for now, unless Bannister has got some in the tank, which he
Next
hasn't.
across the line is Chewy, who's currently in the dropout zone. He stays P13. J Mart says, Ricardo, we got a Castrol out.
Oh, he's out.
He's out.
So just Mikey, can he get out of this drop zone? And he does! He goes up to provisional 9th place with a 128.5.
Puts the pressure on the likes of Bannister and Mikey G.
Well, Bannister isn't going to improve.
Bannister bailed from his lap.
Yeah. So Mikey G can get through.
He's 4/10 up in that middle sector.
And that's what he needs. Exactly what he needs. 4/10 to the dot.
Could this actually knock Energetics out? He's with a 26.8.
On 5 lap old inters. They obviously read that a message about block on the used tyres.
Let's see what Mikey G. This could be a big lap for the Castrol. He'll be the only Castrol to get through into Q3 if he's kept the lap neat and tidy. Where is he going to put the car as he crosses the line? He goes up into P8, knocking Energetics out. So he's done it with a 28.1.
Yeah, and just Mikey through to Q3 by
stellar lap for the Samsung driver.
Yes, by 57 thousandths of a second, and beating Energetics, who didn't have the best session here for this qualifying. But 3 Marlboros through from Q2, also into Q3. But we're losing a lot of Castrol and
you could say the sea of oil has been washed away.
Oh, well, there's still remnants, as there always is. You always find a bit more oil when you've been playing with it on your elbow or something somewhere. But P's topping that session, so yeah, let's see how this Q3 session goes. But missing from Q3 will be Energetics, Bannister, J-Marts, Chewy, and Wabstaffen. Wabstaffen not even setting a qualifying time that session, so that could have changed things. But yes, just Mikey through to Q3, and I believe that might be his first Q3 appearance this season.
I believe it is as well, and that was a stellar lap for the Samsung. Like I say, he needed to get through. P's taking the quickest lap of the session, but to get another driver through, that is a big one for the constructors.
Yeah.
Just having a quick look at the chat again there. Glock all goes up in smoke if it dries up. Xerxes, this is awful. First wet without liner ABS, so that would definitely explain it, but that was still very impressive then to get through without that. Glock commenting back on that with goodbye pole, and then Princess Phoebe, I'll continue my prayers. And Kiza with, wow, okay, surprise made it into Q3.
Drop dust, calling him out there. No, you aren't Keezer. You said you would be annoyed outside the top 5. So
busted. However, whoa, that track looks pretty dry.
It does. It does. And we are on
and they're on softs, they're on slicks.
Tires.
That's it.
So they do get an extra pair of slick tyres for Q3, although they haven't used any as of yet. And for good measure, Race Control have just told us DRS is enabled.
So I think if those prayers are there for Glock, they're going to need to be there now.
Yes, but in true Marlboro fashion, Death Dragon straight out, but he's feeling pressure from Pillars. Pillars not hanging about this time. Whether he's in for a slipstream from the second place title driver at the moment.
Well, it seemed like Pillars was just having a bit of a struggle, to be fair, so far in the session. So where he's been lining up behind Keys or lining up behind DJ, just extracting those extra couple of tenths, and it's worked so far. He's here in Q3, so can he keep with DJ just to get a bit of a toe to try and extract any lap time extra out of that car?
Yeah, but this looks like it will be an interesting session for Xerxes as well. He really struggled in them first 2 sessions without the racing liner, without ABS, but now we have a dry track. So let's see how that affects the Puma drivers' traction on track. But the first of the 3 Marlboro drivers, as per usual, Death Dragon, first to set a time here, and just for good measure, the third Marlboro driver seen coming out of the pits in the background there.
I was just about to say that. Was that time to perfection or what? It is quite a nice even spread, though, we have in the Q3 session this evening in regards to the 2 Pumas, 2 Samsungs, 2 JPS. We do have the 3 Marlboros, and like I say, the sole Castrol and Mikey G, who, you know what, I'm going to throw this out there from last season. The sole Castrol driver actually finished P2 in the race last season, so he's clearly got pace around it.
Yeah, interesting to see. This is slightly different Q3 names that we've got up here, but we will see how that translates into the race, because it all could be going too well until a safety car comes along.
I'm quite surprised we haven't had Curtis and just Mikey go out yet. I mean, normally when the other tie rules existed, people only ever went for 1 run, but who knows? DJ, though, kicking us off with a 20.8.
Yes. Fellas, 21.3, 5 tenths off his Marlboro counterpart.
Next across old Xerxes, unfortunately invalidated the lap, so it'll be Wouter, who's just finishing Sector 2 now. He'll be the next time across the line. Purple middle sector as well for the Puma driver. Now, the pole time last season, I believe, was, it was a 1:19.6 by Pillars.
1:19.6
so
by Pillars.
They're going to have to extract quite a bit out of the car.
Although we have to be fair, this is the first dry run of the session.
Oh, yeah.
But Wouter,
saying that, there's a 19.8 by Wouter.
Knocking it out of the park with a 1:19.8. Who we got
Mikey
coming
G
around
across
now?
the line for Castrol, 21.9. And then who did that just cross the line?
Peas. 19.9. So he says, I'll see you, Wouter. And I'm just a
Glock
behind
with a
you.
19.8.
Ooh.
What's all this if it dries up? The challenge is over. Come on,
Yeah.
Glock.
Slim at best.
What's all this?
Hashtag prayers answered.
Hashtag sandbagging. P9, though, at the moment, Akiza, he's coming down across the line. Where's he going to put the 3rd Marlboro? Splitting the other 2 up in a P5.
Yes. That is the cigarette aisle of this qualifying session so far. Right in front of the aisle where you find the oil.
And Xerxes is in.
I'm here all day, mate.
I thought Xerxes was going for another run. Don't think he had enough on it.
Curtis on an outlap, but he does have Wouter behind him. I don't know if Wouter is going again.
I mean, I don't know why. If they've got all these fresh sets of softs, why would you want to run again? Got time to get in and out and go again.
Wouter's in. 6 minutes left of the session. Do you wait till the end, or do you just get going again?
I mean, you've definitely got enough time to do 2 runs. If you make a mistake on the first one, it does cover you off. But if the track's still drying out and it's heating up and they're getting more grip, that track temperature's rising.
Yeah, Mikey G.
Are we going to see that track evolution, like you say, where it's going to be quicker at the end?
Mikey G did improve there. He went for 2 laps on his soft set, and he managed to improve 6 tenths, I believe it was, putting himself in front of Pillars, splitting the Marlboros.
Now, Curtis has gone purple in the first sector again. Don't know if that is representative to the cars around him or for the session. Again, thank you, EA. But he's just had a very neat and tidy middle sector as well. So he's shown some serious pace in the dry. And to be fair, we've seen him previously upright with Glock. This could be a very strong finish for the JPS in quali if he can get up there with his teammate.
To be fair, through Ascari, he looked like his car was on rails. He was just turning and the car was going.
That's a lot of trust in the setup that they've got on. And if anything, they must have been running a dry setup for qualies the earlier on, because the way they're throwing these cars around now, and he crosses the line P5 with a 20.9.
Marlborough really seeing the gaps now in between them. Mikey, not yet.
I mean, it is really the cigarette aisle now, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Cigarette aisle and some oil, just for good measure. Just for a bit more of a catalyst. You know what I mean? Adding into the flames.
Not a good mix, but just FYI.
Oh, is Castrol not a good mix? Is it not your viscosity? Do you prefer something
It was just more having, cigarettes around oil, but,
I could see what you would do. And just Mikey, first Q3 appearance. Please correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. But I'm gonna roll with it. First Q3 appearance here in Monza. So he is just on his outlap for Samsung. Let's see what he can do.
I mean, everyone else is in the pits or have done their runs, so who else to ride on board with but the man himself?
Other than Death Dragon. He's out and on lap.
But he is behind just Mikey.
He is, but just Mikey's only on his outlap.
You need to capture every moment of this magnificent achievement.
Yes. So I'm sure there will be a massive grin in the helmet of the Samsung driver getting through to Q3.
I've still got this down in the back of my mind that he's made it into Q3 previously, and we're just looking like right wallies.
Yeah. But whilst we're giving just Mikey some airtime when he's doing well, I'm happy with that. Our previous Pot 4 champion from last season, I'm not bitter at all.
I was going to say, he beat the P2 Pot 4, didn't he? Not by much.
It is by a point. By a singular point.
I mean, Bloom, I don't know, I think that just he meant he wanted it more, but...
Maybe.
Oh, wait, it was you that finished P2. Oh, sorry.
Come on, Glock, put a poll time in so we can change the subject or something. You know what I mean? Come on.
You must be able to find 200th somewhere, come on.
Just Mikey, purple in Sector 1. Again, God knows. Is it EA? Is it the best of the session? Is it just...
I know one thing, it's just Mikey and he's in Q3.
It is. I wish I'd actually kept my other spreadsheet up to date now so I could just quickly flip to it, have a look. Bring you the interesting stats, but unfortunately I'm letting Housie down, I think. Housie filling in for the Australian stream today. Well done for that. It's good to see you back. Albeit for just a guest appearance. But yes, Mikey coming round at Parabolica now, setting his first Q3 lap here in Monza. And it's going to be a 1:22.1. Xerxes just to follow as well.
P9.
And there wasn't a time put, but it didn't say out.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Yeah. But just over 1.5 minutes left of this session. So guys, leaving the pits now, pretty much leaving it to the wire.
Pease is just left the pits. He's just probably got enough time to cruise around, look after those tyres, and go for one flying run.
Well, he wasn't flooring it there, so he'll be seething if he doesn't quite make it. But he might have a few seconds to spare, but it will only be a few. But we've got Easer just coming into the pit, so he's not going to be making any more impact on this session. Keyser finishing 6th or lower.
Mikey G up to 5th with a 20.6.
Yes, well done that man. Wouter just starting his final flying lap.
Curtis is coming around to cross the line for JPS. Currently sitting on a 20.9 in P6. Where's he going to go?
Well, the outlap just disappeared. So it's like just before Parabolica.
No, I look like a mug.
Yeah.
Right.
But the question is, where's Pete?
Xerxes with a 20.1. There's the man. There's the time.
Is the man. DJ. Ooh, 2/10 slower, but he has got time to go again. Will Pease make it across the line? I do believe he will.
Glock has just made it across the line in time. Pease, yeah, they will both, so they'll be the last two to set a time for us.
7 seconds to spare for Pease. Just Mikey and Keezer finished in this session now.
Now, just to touch on the chat there, Glock quickly putting in, I'm certain that the REL guys are going to get quicker. Well, Glock, I'm confident you're going to get quicker. Come on, hashtag pray for Glock.
But we're on board now, Mikey G. Mikey G's last and final effort. The time is looking pretty good.
Practically empty.
Ooh, and he's
behind him. Wooter with a 19.4.
Unbelievable.
That is quicker than last season's time, and Glock's gone off in the gravel.
Glock. Hashtag pray for Glock.
There weren't enough prayers, clearly, but the Xerxes rounding the final quarter. He's invalidated, unfortunately. We have a Marlborough just behind of Pillars. Where is he going to go? 21.3. Goes up to P6 with a 21.3 to a 20.3.
Yeah, fantastic time there. Death
DJ
Dragon
crossing the line. Stays P4 with a 20 flat. Says all eyes are to Pease, and he spun it on the exit of the Parabolica.
I was up, yeah. Pease and Glock. No.
Yeah, both of them. Glock's gone off to the gravel, and Pease, unfortunately, has lost the rear.
That is our Q3 session. No, Glock or Pease not able to respond to Wooter.
I think that was a bit of a tease, personally, Bloom. I'm now looking forward to the race. I think there's more. They've got more in the tank.
Yes. But definitely a supporter for Glock in the shape of Princess Phoebes. Good old friendly bottle returns. But that is our Q3 session. Wooter topping the table with a 119.4. Can anybody respond to Wooter's threat here? But we've got Glock for second, Pease for third, Death Dragon for fourth, Xerxes fifth, Pillars sixth, Mikey G seventh, Curtis eighth, Keezer ninth, and Just Mikey 10th. Q3 for Monza.
Just to kind of retouch on the three from last season, actually. We had Pillars, who took the pole position last season. Sloth, who took second, and DJ taking third.
Yeah, let's see what kind of weather we're going to get for the race. That could affect all the proceedings now.
While we're going to wait for that to catch up, Bloom, I'm going to fire another fact at you. You yourself qualified in P19 here last season. However, again, you clawed your way up to the field and actually finished in P14. If there were any DNFs in the race, I can't clarify because I didn't check that part. But you did finish higher than you started.
So 30 seconds to go before our race session starts. So looking a little bit overcast, so it could literally go either way, but the track temperature probably won't be at its max now, so that's something to consider with your tyre strategies. Cooler tracks, you won't have the temperatures in your tyres to give you the maximum traction. But then you also need to consider that your higher track temperatures will give you higher wear. So cooler track might mean your tyres will last that a little bit longer.
Well, I was just about to say that's probably going to push a lot more people to the one stop, so the hards to the mediums or mediums to the hards. And as I flipped onto the tyres, I've just seen these two little red dots next to Keezer and Just Mikey going for the softs.
Wow.
I mean, you said it earlier, Just Mikey tends to go for these outrageous strategies, so maybe he's banking on a safety car early on. Who knows?
Well, yes. I mean, can you go soft and then to the end on hards? Probably 27 laps Monza. It's not the longest track.
I mean, you'd have to stretch the softs. Looking at the one-stop delta earlier, You've got to stretch the hards 19 laps. Their primes are around about 11 laps. So you really have to stretch the hards on a one stop, and that's to do hard medium. But if he's got the tyre wear, then all fair play to him. Let's see him do it.
Yeah. But we do have tyre strategy on the screen. 12 laps. So mediums for 12 laps, then the rest on hards. But then I did see at the bottom, alternative strategy, softs, mediums, then hards. I think personally I would like to go a soft, medium, medium. But the game this season, some reason, will only give you one set of mediums for the race on a 50%.
Wu to go in for a very big burnout there out of the final corner, and nearly ended up going into the pits.
Wuta lining up on the line. Glock, Peas, Death Dragon, Xerxes, Pillars, Mike G, Curtis. Oh, Curtis! Facing the wrong way. This immersive setting where you have to line up to your grid space.
I find it so fascinating to see how close they get. You've got the likes of, I believe that is Pillars who's angled across, Curtis is angled across.
Well, Curtis
Glock
did a
is a little bit further
fantastic
back
job
on
to
his
get
box
back
as well.
onto the grid there, but yes, Ramsel rounding it off there. So we will soon have the lights on. I can't see them just yet. I can't see the lights. 5 lights. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing. That seemed like a really delayed start for Wuta, but that might have just been the camera angle. But Glock is really trying to bring it to him up on the inside, coming down towards turn 1. P's also there in this battle. Glock on the inside. Can he get the job done? But it looks like there was contact. Oh, and there's people round behind him. Somebody, Mikey G up on the inside, energetics. Let's check on the position changes here. So Sloth, 10 places on that start.
Got squeezed off at the beginning there, but it looked like Xerxes got the braking wrong into turn 1 and clipped the back of one of the cars in front, and it knocked Glock as well.
It did. I think without that contact, Glock would have had P1 from the start, but Sloth really romping up the field now. 10 places, now 11 places gained as he takes a position from Curtis.
He is on a mission, that man. I think we got damage for Xerxes on the front wing. He's missing an end plate.
Oh no.
So that would explain that, why he's dropped back a little bit off those front guys, because he was right with them. So again, giving Sloth another position up to P6. Another man who's made a rapid start, I'm going to have to say it, because he's done brilliant, is Ramsel.
Ramsel, yeah, 5 places gained, and as per usual,
Walker taking a very interesting line across the Scary there, kind of straight lined that.
Just Mikey gaining 2 positions from the start, now P8 for the Samsung driver.
But he's under pressure from energetics behind.
Yeah, Xerxes in the pits already. Just Mikey defending well, but he is on them soft tyres.
Keezer and Blood and Sand. And Walker, 3 cars in. Oh no, and Keezer's had to double stack with Xerxes. They're sharing a pit box.
Oh, Bannister, what a move.
Have to change a front wing, and Walker's changing the front wing.
What a move Bannister just did on Chewy. Late braking, and I think Chewy must have known he was there because he responded well to keep out of trouble. But a right pack we have here. Curtis, Just Mikey, Energetics, Mikey G, Droftas, all battling for the 8th place position, 7th place position, sorry. Currently held by Curtis.
Oh, Xerxes has gone round. Coming out of turn 2. He's lost it on a fresh set of mediums. I don't think they've heated up quick enough. Walker and Keezer both opted for softs, but he's gone for the harder compound. It's going to take that a little bit longer to get back up to temperature.
Yeah, top 3 still in the same positions from starting, but we will now have DRS on this next lap. We won't have the first DRS down the start-finish straights. It's past the detection point.
Mikey G and Energetic side by side through the Parabolica. Mike G coming out on top, but he's got a nice little train behind him as well.
Yeah, Energetics side by side with Mikey G coming down to turn 1. Just Mikey might
Just Mikey's going to have to look in his rearview mirrors.
Ooh, very close racing there between these 4, but very well done. Top class racing. trying to keep an eye on the times up the top whilst we're in this little
just
four-way
looking
battle
between
down
the two.
here.
I'm just sticking on board with Energetics for the time being. As he is practically pushing that Castrol through the middle sector, and God, I thought he was going to go for it there.
I thought he was going to as well. Xerxes in the pits again, but has retired. So that's it for the Puma driver. But Droftas, I think now looking more of a threat to Energetics than Energetics was to Mikey G. Oh, and that's a creative line across there. I'll be surprised if he didn't get a warning for that adventurous line. Oh, is P's going to be looking to make a move on Glock? I don't know. I'm just sticking with this battle for now.
Glock send the quickest lap of the race, and Sloth coming in with a 22.8, and Energex has gone wide on the exit Parabolica.
He has.
So Droft is just going to have a nice glide pass down the main straight of DRS.
But Mikey G is having a look on the inside of Just Mikey coming down to turn one. He's already made the move before the braking zone.
Oh, and Energex has come back at Droftas under braking. Droftas looks like he's going to have the better drive. And he just holds on to that P10, but we got a car on the inside. That's Puma.
Yeah, that's Xerxes' car that's come out the pits. Hopefully, I haven't caused too much distraction to everybody, but we carry on here. Droftas 10 places gained, looking to gain another one from his teammate Just Mikey. But Energetics really trying to light up his rearview mirror. DRS enabled for this little train now. Energetics also getting creative with the racing line coming through Ascari. Droftas really chasing his teammate. Will there be some team orders? But I think I'm going to have to go to the front where our first three are still in starting order. Wouter, Glock, Peas, and even Pillars now within a second of Peas, so benefiting from DRS. But further back, Sloth, who's had a phenomenal start, gained 12 places, now looking to gain another from the Marlboro in front of Death Dragon.
I've been watching Sloth that past lap. He's looking very confident as well, and just cutting to his teammate actually, who's come into the pits. J-Marts for a set of hards by the looks of it. And a fairly slow stop for the Castrol as well there.
Although we have the immersive setting on the pit stop as well, you have to make a good turn in. And when you do a good turn in, you get a better response time from your pit crew. So if you wanted a sub 3 second, you need to go purple or green on your turn in.
I don't think Sloth could be any closer, though, to DJ. He's getting right up behind him, coming into Ascari there. The medium's clearly running a bit better than the hards at the moment, but he just seems to lose it through the mid part of the corner.
Yeah. He's looking the closest he's been at this point of the track. Although he has dropped off, I think Glock had a better exit out of Parabolica.
Yeah, those three guys are currently evening out there, but just commenting on the Sloth situation here, it looks like DJ's spending a lot of battery just to try and keep the Castrol behind him.
Yeah, somebody else using a lot of battery. Just Mikey lost the position out to Energetics now, but he has used a lot of battery. But Droftas looking around the outside of Mikey G, nearly rubbing tyres. But we have a car off further down. Bannister is... oh, and there's still side-by-side. Side-by-side coming up to the Lesmos now. Still side-by-side.
Looks like he's going to have a little peek. And what this is doing is helping Just Mikey get back into the fight that he's on. He's still on the softs. And even Ramsel, bringing Ramsel right into this fight.
DRS assistance for Droftas, making easy work to get past Just Mikey, but he's going to have to get clear now down this back road because he will go through the DRS detection point with the start-finish straight.
Oh, and up at the front. Oh, and Oh, I think that was a tactical move by DJ there. Sloth went round the outside. DJ hit the brakes right before the DRS line. So, who is going to get the DRS as they come down across the detection point? And it was DJ.
Yeah. Clever move there from DJ. As you say, very tactical. Gave the position away for a moment, but only to be able to have the advantage down, start, finish straight.
And that's bought him a bit of time as well. Sloth's gone deep into turn 1, so that'll buy him a couple of tenths.
Still having this interesting battle further down. I think this train is going to go all the way to the final stop. But having said that, you know, just Mikey on the alternate strategy, so he will probably have to pit at a different time to everybody else. And how will that affect the race? Because whilst he's in this train at the minute, he can't really get further forward, but at the same time, it's helping him not drop back with DRS assistance every lap.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. If you feel like you can go quicker than the cars in front of you, then obviously you are going to be losing the time. But if you do pit, you fall out of the DRS. So it's kind of 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, really. And in regards to someone falling off the back of the train, Pillars is really pushing to try and hold on to the top 3, but he's just fell out of DRS this lap.
Yeah.
Pease is all over the back of Glock. Coming down the main straight, he's going to get the drive on him. He's closing in. It's just over a 10th difference. Glock's gone defensive. And he's just placed the car where Pease can't have a go.
Yeah. Pease backing out there, which I think was sensible because the closing speed would have meant them being in the same place at the same time, but he's still amazingly close to the back of that JPS as Just Mikey does now pit, take off his soft tyres 7 laps in.
And Sloth has closed up to the back of DJ again. The gap under half a second, but Pease pushing Glock through that first sector.
Yeah, as you say, Pillars, you can see how much it's costing now. He dropped out of DRS and he's already lost another 5 tenths.
I mean, what that's going to do is definitely get DJ to try and put the foot down even more. Not saying he isn't already, but if he can get within DRS of his teammate, that'll throw him a huge lifeline.
Wow. The
Pease, yeah, just saw that. Pease pushed literally all over the back of Glock.
Is Glock going to do a move like Death Dragon? No, he didn't do a move like Death Dragon, but Glock does stay ahead. But Pease will have DRS assistance down here, but as will Glock, because he was close to the back. And we
got someone off. J-Marts has gone round at the chicane, unfortunately. But Glock not conceding the position before the DRS line, I don't think it would have been beneficial to do because he knew he was going to get DRS off of Wooter anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, because that would have... Yeah, that's a good point, because neither of them would have benefited.
Droftas has locked up into the first corner. And it's caused Energetics to go across the runoff. The winner of that, Mikey G, taking both. Droftas picking up a 10-second penalty for cutting a corner by the looks of it there. And Energetics has picked something up as well.
I think that would have to be reviewed later. I didn't catch that on my screen. Maybe you got a better view on yours, Diggle. But
it looked like he was making the move on Energetics and the fronts locked at him. Energetics was on the outside and Energetics had time to go across the runoff where Droftas unfortunately just went straight across the curbing.
So it'd be interesting to see what happens from there.
But it shows how tricky it can be to pass around here. It's all good getting a toe and a down the straight, but you need to make sure you can stop that car.
No! Pease was trying to make a move on Glock, but I think they made contact. And just... Wow! Unbelievable. Like, Pease in the pits because he's got damage. Glock undoubtedly also coming into the pits. That is really unfortunate of them two to have come together the way they did. But Energetics on track, trying to make his way past Ramsel. It's all going on at once. He's succeeding. He's in front before the braking zone, so he should get a nice clean corner now through the chicane. But have we got time? No, let's go up to Sloth.
Did you have the replay?
I do.
But because I missed that.
I literally only just flick onto it. Yeah, you were nattering away about something else, but I can't go right now because we've got this incredibly close battle between the two Marlboroughs and Sloth because Wooter has just been given a 5-second grace from any competitor from the mistake made between Peas and Glock. And
Oh, position change for the Marlboroughs. Oh, and Sloth's gone to follow him through. And we've got a yellow. Talking of the Marlboroughs, Ramsell is out. No.
Oh, no.
Coming out the second Lesmo.
No, full course caution. We have the safety car coming out of the pits. So that's really unfortunate as well because Peas and Glock down in 13th and 15th, they're probably not going to benefit too much from
insult
this.
to injury for those two.
Oh, no. Right, as we now are neutralised on the racing by the safety car, let's go to the replay on the stream. Now, I realise that the sound comes through on the replay now, so I won't talk during this replay. We'll just watch what happened between Peas and Glock.
Ooh. That was just unfortunate between those two.
Yeah, really small error, I think, from one or both of the drivers. I think that will probably be in the steward's room at some point.
But it shows how desperate they were for the position in regards to it all.
Well, it's always tight battles, and it's incredible to have been racing with Glock before now and thought that there was nobody able to even get close to him. And then I come to this league and experience Peas, and then all the others who were rapid up the top, and now Wooter also. Them three, you couldn't fit a credit card between them at some points, and quite clearly at that point the credit card got broken. But yes, on the comments on the stream, Xerxes, obviously he's retired in the pits. Why do I bother? When I'm confident on a track, I just have the worst experience. Which seems to be really unfortunate. It's one of those things, as David Coulthard would say, it's the racing gods who decide what happens on track. Obviously the racing gods probably having a little bit of a say between Peas and Glock there. Hashtag praise for Glock. But Peas seems to have benefited a little. Well, I say benefited. He's currently sixth, but he didn't have as much of a distance to come back on track as Glock did. But Glock down
he
in
definitely
11th
hasn't
place.
been affected as much as Glock has, but he's currently sitting in P6.
Well,
it'll be a stretch to get the mediums to the end, but it's doable.
Were they both on mediums before? No, they were both on hards, weren't they? So they've both
yeah, they
done
are.
Their...
They've both gone for the mediums. If they go into the end from now, it's doable, but their tyres are not going to be in a good shape at the end.
Them penalties as well between Droftas and Energetics.
Sorry. Hashtag praise the cameraman. I agree, Xerxes.
I keep forgetting about doing instant replays, but yeah, I just by fluke managed to catch that one. So that was okay. Catching it on the stream first of all, and then catching it on an instant replay is another thing altogether. Because sometimes Diggle will tell me what's going on, and I'll go to it, and it's finished.
I mean, I was just going to give you a praise in regards to you catching it because I missed it. As you say, I was narrating about something else. I was watching about something else happening on track. So you catching that meant I could actually watch it. So
we could start discussions now, I think, quite sensibly about driver of the day, and I think we've got to throw Sloth in there. 14 places gained. Just Mikey still hanging on in the top 10, so I've got to put Just Mikey down.
While you're running down that, I think we've had a request for the replay again in the stream.
Oh, go on then. We're not going ahead now, are we? So let's go back to that action.
I'm keeping an eye on it. Don't worry. While that replay is going on, though, I will continue with the rundown in regards to what you were saying, Bloom. So Wouter leading the way on his mediums, DJ and Pillars right hot on his heels for the 2 mobiles in the top 3. Sloth with a stellar start to the race up into P4 now. Curtis now the lead JPS after the incident earlier on, unfortunately involving Peas and Glock. Peas down in P6 now. Mikey G with a strong 7th at the moment. Energetics 8th, Droftas 9th, and just Mikey in 10th, rounding out the top 10. Hashtag pray for Glock's controller. Oh no.
Well, I mean, this is why we have an incident room. This is why we have stewards. These things happen in racing. You know, I can't see there being too much anger between the two. I think it's clear that there was an incident, but that's, as Diggle says, the passion of these drivers and just how tight the racing can be, that these things will happen.
It's the want for them to win. Like, we hear them in the commentary rooms and in the chats. We see them in the Discord when one of them gets the upper hand. They really like to have the bragging rights.
Well, I think, yeah, to be a good race car driver, you've got to have passion, you've got to have confidence, and you've got to have skill, and, you know, blend all those together. I think that describes perfectly some of our Formula 4 drivers. But
it'll be interesting to see, though, now with the restart, where Wouter is going to go. If he's going to go on the last corner, or is he going to wait till the line? It's a long drive down to turn 1. So ideally, he's not going to want to give DJ much of a tow.
No, it is pretty much at the start-finishing line now.
He's gone for it. Deployed the battery. And further back, Sloth is all over the back of Pillars.
Oh, I see an end plate there.
Very close.
Sloth has lost an end plate, unfortunately. I did see it flying off.
Oh, that was contact. I couldn't quite see what happened there, but
there was, and
in doing so, it's put him right under pressure from Pease and Curtis. Coming out of 2.
I'm not sure what happened, but Keyser, J-Marts caught up in some action there as well. But Pease gained a position
as well.
there.
Walker's going very slow. Walker's got no front wing.
Where's Walker? Walker's down the bottom. Ooh, incredibly close here. Glock and Energetics. Glock is trying to make his way past Energetics. And incredible racing there, side by side.
At the moment, you've got Pease all over the back of Curtis as well, going down into Ascari. Trying to make up for the lost ground.
I don't think it will be long before Pease and Glock are back up, fighting for podium places. Oh, and we have somebody...
Droftas has gone round at Ascari. Has he got any damage? I can't quite see the front of the car on my camera angle.
Ooh, and Sloth, was that a position swap? Mikey G seems to ramp past him there.
Yeah, Mikey G, yeah, Sloth has damage, he's in. So
yeah.
There's Mikey G up in position.
Oh, that's really unfortunate.
And Curtis has gone for the move on Pillars. Curtis has got Pillars into turn 1. But he's got deep. He's got really deep. Is Pillars going to get the drive out too? They're going to drag it now down into... No, round the Curva Grande, down into this next little chicane. Pillars has got the battery deployment on. He's around the outside. He's alongside him, but...
Ooh,
Curtis just a bit later on the brakes.
Pillars backed out there, definitely. Oh, and just behind Pease! Pease! Not a good day for Pease or Glock here, but double whammy for Pease there.
I mean, if there's something that's going to put a smile on Glock's face, surely it's going to be that.
I can only imagine what's being said under the helmet.
I mean, that is one party chat I don't want to be part of.
But just Mikey up a few more places again now. Crawled his way back up to 8th place. The Pease, I think.
That's really impressive. Yep.
No, go on.
I was just going to say, DJ hanging on to within a second of Wouter.
Wow. He's taken
And Curtis is
Chewy.
hanging onto the back of them, so they're getting towed along. DRS has enabled this lap, so if they can hold this for one more lap, Wouter might not be scot-free just yet.
Okay, well.
Power of the prayers, boys. So I was just looking at the Twitch chat.
So it's all sort of petering out a little bit now, but Glock back up to 6th place, Peas in 9th. I've got to say, Pillars doing a stellar drive as well, up into 4th. He qualified in 6th place, but yes, last week's driver of the day, doing a stellar job. So I think
100%. Whoa.
I think we'll go Pillars, Sloth, Mikey, Pillars for driver of the day. Is Sloth now down at the bottom, but that was for the damage, I think. But still, before that, stellar drive from him. Droftas making a move.
I think just Mikey needs to be in there as well.
Yeah, just Mikey is definitely in there as we see Peas and Mikey swap places.
But up at the front, Wouter in that one lap managed to break the DRS, and in doing so, DJ broke it to Curtis. But Curtis as well doing a stellar job in P3.
Peas responding there, but also Glock, Mikey G, Glock.
Oh, Mikey G's not giving up without a fight.
Incredible racing there.
But that was an important move there. Glock again putting another car between him and Peas.
Well,
Peas is coming for him.
Yeah, because Peas made his way past Mikey and past Energetics. So if he hadn't made that move on just Mikey G, Glock would have been the next car in front.
Tell you what, I wouldn't want to be Pillars at the moment. I mean, he's doing a brilliant drive at the moment, but to have Glock, who clearly has a point to prove, bit between his teeth, and then Peas as well, even more so. But Peas with the DRS on Mikey G. I don't know how easy this pass is going to be. We saw Mikey G put up elbows out a bit on Glock in the run to turn 1. Just not quite close enough on the DRS, but it looks like he may go for it down into the Parabolica though. He's got a brilliant drive out of Ascari, and he has passed the Castrol with ease. But is he going to be within a second to get DRS off Glock into the round down the final straight? Sorry,
it's going to be tight, but Glock will have DRS on Pillars.
I don't think he has it. The detection point was earlier on. No, he doesn't. But yeah, Glock blitzing past Pillars, and next up for Glock is his teammate. Mikey G managing to hold on to the back of Peas though, which is very important for himself at Castrol. Not too far behind him, he's going to have energetics as well, so if he wants to get the big points that he's getting at the moment, hanging on to the back of this train of the faster boys is going to be vital.
Yeah, and just Mikey, within 3 seconds of energetics, so if that penalty still counts for energetics, then he is going to take that position, and I think that's a yellow flag down the bottom for...
That was for Sloth. I think he had a moment in Ascari, unfortunately, and we've got the
he's
blood
lost
and
an end
sand
plate
in the
again.
pits. Where is the closest battle on at the moment? So Bannister trying to hunt in Webstappen, who's hunting Chewy. So that's a ding dong in the making.
Ding dong in the making.
Oh, and Peas has got Pillars coming out of the Parabolica.
Wow.
But with DRS open, Pillars has come straight back at him. They're side by side, dragging down into turn 1. Peas using all of his battery and DRS to make sure he had the car in front.
Yeah, and Mikey G in the background there, just hanging on.
He's doing very well with his deployment as well, over 50%, and even energetics as well. Nearly half battery still to use. But the lead out at the front, just to kind of touch back on Wouter, to be fair, haven't really covered him that much. Over 2 seconds clear to DJ. And Curtis is back within a second of DJ.
Curtis doing a stellar drive as per. He's third in the driver's title right now, but I think it won't be long before Woot is knocking on that title door. Probably not enough season left for him to get up to the top. He would need Pease to have more incidents like that to. But in fact, interesting fact. Well, first of all, Sloth's just got a 3-second penalty, but also Death Dragon is only 4 points behind Pease, and currently Death Dragon.
Mikey G's making the move on Pillars. Sorry to jump in there. He's got the DRS, and following him through could be Energetics as well. Pillars could lose 2, and Energetics could gain 2. Into 1, Energetics up the inside. But, Mikey G's just later on the brakes. He's kept it, but what that's done is it's put Pillars on the inside, on the exit, and Energetics could end up dropping back down behind.
Yeah, fantastic.
They're running side by side. Who's getting the tail off the Castrol in front? It looks like Pillars. And he's just kept it in front. But that was a brilliant move by Mikey G. Not only to attack, but also to defend and plant the car where he needed to.
Fantastic driving between these drivers here. But we now are back to Pease on Glock. Pease with DRS chasing Glock down. And as I say, it wouldn't be long before they're knocking on the podium door. So just 4 seconds down the road from the JPS teammate. And even Housey... I think
that's more of a reason for Curtis to get the move done on DJ sooner rather than later.
Speaking of the man himself earlier, Housey in the chat. Evening, gentlemen. Housey reserving in the commentary with Gav earlier for the Australian stream. But now we see Pease on Glock once more. DRS enabled. Not enough road to make a move down into turn 1.
We've got to change for position a bit further down as well. The keys are on banister, so keys are now up to P13 for Marlborough, so he's clawing his way back up the field a bit more. Was Webb Stappen as well, and Chewy very close going into turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, Webb Stappen looking to have a good exit out of there, but not quite as good as Chewy did. A little bit of jostling.
Just like it's been a trend this season, we're getting all these little battles appear now right at the end of the race, and I don't know which one to keep an eye on.
No, yes. Commentators struggle constantly, but Chewy, Webb Staffen, Droftas and Keezer all in a 4-way for 10th. And as I'm saying that, Pease makes his way past Glock, coming down through Ascari, but can Glock stay within a second of Pease to get DRS down the start-finish straight, all whilst Curtis is within 3/10 of Death Dragon, and at the same time, positions changing between Energetics, Pillars, Wab Staffen, and Chewy. Oh, and we've got Keezer away into the wall further down, just outside of Ascari. So, as we say, all of it going on.
It sounded like we might have ended up getting a real-life Monza finish there. But Curtis is not giving up on the back of DJ. He's really hounded the back of the JPS. Droftas has now just made the move for Chewy as well. Up to P11.
Clear of him before the braking zone, but awfully close to the back of Wab Staffen.
Now Glock he's holding on to the back of Pease. He's got a lot more battery than him as well, so I don't think this is over just yet. I think he might be using Pease just for a bit of a tow, charge the battery up a bit, and then go for a strike.
And Wab Staffen went deep there. He was off track, so he's lost a few positions now, which has handed positions back to Mikey, Droftas, Chewy, all benefiting from Wab Staffen being off there. And is that a ghost car? Yeah, that's Sloth in the mix there. It confused me then seeing 2 Castrals together, but not on the timing board.
The DRS is open on Curtis. I'm just riding on board as they drag it down to turn 1.
Oh, and J Marts is out.
That's a full course caution.
That is.
That's a VSC.
Oh no, safety car.
No, wait, that's a safety car.
Oh, and Droftas, for good measure, 5-second penalty speeding in the pits, but a few people taking the opportunity whilst they can.
Oh, wow. This is... unlike I could confidently see, unlike real F1, we're going to get a finish under green flag.
We will, because the game won't allow you to actually finish under safety car here. But yes, no Michael
Because the game
Massey
has common
needed.
sense.
But we've got the top 5 drivers all on medium tyres, relatively the same age. We've got Mikey G, Energetics, Pillars, all on hards.
How's he in the chat? We all know what happens here.
Right. Do you want to answer Phoebes as well? Oh, Xerxes has already answered it.
It's already been covered in the chat. Driver of the day is what the poll is for.
But whilst Halsey is having a little nap, I did get an instant replay, so let's go and see what we caught. We got a 3-way battle between Mikey G, Energetics, and Pillars.
Yeah, Mikey G did a stellar job getting the car where he needed to there, and Pillars as well, turning what could have been a 2-position loss, but to actually maintaining over Energetics itself. Did what he needed to do, but on screen though, while the replay's going on, we have pits galore. Wooter's in. Energetics is up to third. Wooter, DJP's, Curtis, Pillars, Mikey, they've all pit.
Well, Peas has pit, Glock has stayed out, Mikey G stayed out,
Glock stayed out,
Energetics
Mikey G stayed out, Energetics has stayed out.
So Glock opting
Everyone's
for
in
track
for soft spot,
position.
the top 3.
Now, this is a track which is not too difficult to overtake. And if you've got a second per lap pace, it's going to be relatively easy for you to overtake the guys in front. But Glock, I think, having the grace of having Mikey G and Energetics behind him on old tyres, so that Wooter, Death Dragon, Peas and Curtis and Pillars can't bring the attack to him straight away. Now, we're on lap 24 of 27. So we're going to have...
the safety car, I think, will be out for another lap at least.
Yes. They're going to want the drivers all to bunch up more. So we're going to be finishing this at the end of lap 25.
Rightly say, Xerxes in the chat, sorry to jump in there, no DRS.
No.
There will not be enough laps for DRS to be activated.
We will not. And we do currently have a leader in the Driver of the Day vote. So if you haven't put your votes in, please do it. But yeah, clearly one-sided there, which I think everybody will be happy about. So let's have a quick run through the order. As we just discussed, Glock, Mikey G, Energetics all at the front on some worn tyres. And who's that going in? Someone's just gone... Oh, that was Blood and Sand. I think he was... yeah. Blood and Sand and Sloth, I think, making their own way to unlap themselves by just going into the pits and getting out of the way. But yes, so top 3 on used tyres. Wooter, Death Dragon, Peas, Curtis, Pillars, Just Mikey, Droftas, Chewy, Wabstaffen, Bannister, Keezer, Walker, Blood and Sand, Sloth, all on new softs. So this, are we going to see pandemonium for this restart?
Oh, there it is. I was waiting for the restart. I thought you were going to use it.
Well, I think there'll be that much pandemonium. I won't have time to say pandemonium. So just chuck it in early, pull that pin, drop the grenade, and then we'll wait and see what happens with the aftermath.
Just so torn with some of the drivers that have pit. Like, if it was worth losing the positions, some of these guys could have gained doing what Energetics and Mikey and that have done, but they are definitely going to be slower on the hards and the mediums. But well, I don't know, track position with no DRS can be quite beneficial round here.
Yes. I mean, they're going to be slow, but the cars behind would need to be a second faster to get the move done safely. Just because the car in front is slower doesn't mean that by rights you're going to take that position, because you have to take it yourself. But Energetics carrying 3 seconds of penalties, Droftas 15 and Sloth 3 seconds. So it's been a relatively clean race in terms of track limits.
I do need to just quickly throw a shout out to, well, it's not in the Twitch chat, but Princess Phoebe has been that captivated by the stream, she's missed the bus for work.
Oh, damn. But we will be underway. Glock not yet pulled the trigger, as we previously discussed on the last restart. You're going to want to do it as late as you can to not get the slipstream from the guys behind. Oh, Andy pulled the trigger. I think everybody else jumped the gun.
What a restart there by one of the Marlboros. Is that DJ?
Oh my god, we're like 6 wide and we've got people on the grass.
Glock's locked up into one. DJ's though going for it straight away on Mikey G. DJ knows there is a win on the cards if he can get past him. He's done it on exit.
It's sheer pandemonium.
Followed him through Wooter. Wooter's on the outside of DJ as well.
The Glock.
Mikey G's sticking it in though. He's doing the best he can on those hard tyres. Oh, and there's a Marlboro sideways. Is that Pillars? He drifted into that next chicane there.
Oh, and we've got Keezer down. Not having the best day again.
I feel like I've missed so much off the restart, but there's so much that's happened.
Yes, but as you say, no DRS. Glock 7/10 out in the lead, but he's got Death Dragon Wooter behind him on fresh rubber, looking to make the attack.
Droftas getting energetics into Ascari, and just having a look at this, Wooter is closing in on the back of DJ very quickly.
No!
Pillars!
Curtis and Pillars! Oh no, Curtis will not be having a good day there, but we have to go to the front because we've got Glock, Death Dragon and Wooter.
He's heating up. Wooter is catching DJ, but it looks like the Marlboro's running a lower downforce or something. Glock's locked up again into one. The pressure is going to be on the JPS driver. Final lap of the race. Can he bring it home?
Yeah, he's really doing his utmost best here. He chose track position, not pitting for fresh rubber, but Death Dragon and Wooter looking to make the move. Wooter double faking. And
he's gone for it. And no, Glock's spun and there's contact.
Oh, and he's out.
Glock's out. Glock's out.
Oh my days. Hashtag praise for Glock.
It looked like the rear's locked on the JPS and Wooter had nowhere to go.
I don't even know where to look. But currently leading this race, Death Dragon out in front.
I mean, right now, sorry, Peas and Mikey G. This is the battle for third. This couple of tenths separating, and Peas wants that podium.
Walker, 3-second penalty at this later stage for good measure. That's not what you're going to want.
Which way's Peas going to go? He's going to force Peas around the outside of the final corner. Peas is later on the brakes. He's got the tyres to carry the speed. Who is going to get the drag out the final corner? Peas. Mikey G side by side down to the line. Who's going to get it? It looks like it's going to be Mikey G. He's done it.
Mikey G's done it, but Death Dragon wins the Monza Grand Prix with a fantastic restart. But there was so much pandemonium going on. I can't even come back to tell you what happened there. But Glock again involved in another incident, so the steward's room will be lit. I think driver of the day from the game given to Walker, but driver of the day from our Twitch stream quite rightly going to Just Mikey. I don't even know at this moment in time where he finished in that race because it was absolute pandemonium.
I know we normally discuss the leader following the leader across the line and that, but I just could not look away from Mikey G and Peas. What a fight round that parabolica.
There's just wow. I don't even know what to say. It's absolute sheer racing gods meddling there with the order. Pandemonium. Pure pandemonium. Wow. He's not even on the podium. We've got Death Dragon up there, we've got Wooter, and we've got Mikey G up there by 11,000 of a second. Death Dragon taking the win.
You could not write this.
And do you know what? I think the fastest lap didn't even go to somebody finishing the race. Let's go through. So we've got Death Dragon, we've got Wooter, we've got Mikey G rounding off our podium, then Peas by a fraction of a second, missing out fourth. 5th place for Just Mikey, our driver of the day winner. So how is that?
There you go.
Chewy 6th, Walker 7th, Energetics 8th, Curtis 9th, Wabstaffen 10th, Bannister in 11th, Keyser in 12th, Droftas in 13th, but he did have a big time penalty. Glock, DNF, Pillars DNF, Sloth there with the fastest lap. So we'll have to find out what happens there because the fastest lap driver didn't finish the race. But Blood and Sand DNF, J Mart's DNF, Ramsel DNF, and Zox's DNF. So what an absolute action-packed Monza Grand Prix we had there. Oh my God. But before we go to any driver room, I think we will, just for good measure, go back to an action replay. I didn't press save on it, so let's go back. Let's see. I'm sure I do have another replay. I've got the restart. So let's have a look. See, as long as that's saved.
That's fine. Wait, while you're sorting that, just to throw it out there, depending on what happens with the fastest lap, the next fastest lap was by Peas. So, depending on what the stewards decide, Peas could be getting the extra point there.
But Peas also didn't finish the race because he was taken out at the
P4.
end. Peas. Oh, sorry. I thought it said Pillars. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, Peas P4. Yeah, he got the second fastest lap classified. So.
Right. Wow. So let's go now to the driver interview room. So we will just have a couple minutes trying to get our drivers in there. So please bear with us whilst we get our top 3 and driver of the day into the comms box. Right, we are here in the driver interview room. We've got who we can for now, but we are joined. Let's first of all go to Mikey G, our third place finisher. Right down to the wire. It was very close to between us talking to yourself or talking to Peas. 11,000th in it at the end as you crossed the line. How was that race for you, Mikey G?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, to be honest. Did you guys think I made the right call staying out?
It was the right call, I think. It definitely got you on the podium. So
Yeah, well, I was thinking there's only going to be probably 2 laps of racing, and I was thinking was I 6th when I went in, and I came out in P2. I was thinking, even though they'll be on soft tires, there's not that many corners here, so I thought, let's do it. Let's go, try and go for a podium. And then, yeah, Pease was chasing me down on the last lap. I was giving it everything. And then the last corner, I tried to defend and then, save still some of my ERS just to be able to have enough just to compete with him. But yeah, it was close over the line.
Well, you are one of the only few drivers to actually do the one stop here. So yes, staying out at the end, I think definitely benefited you.
Definitely, yeah. I had some good battles with a few guys all through the race, to be honest. And Energetics was tough to keep behind. He was always there or thereabouts. And yeah, it was just a good race. I had quite good pace, so I was quite surprised.
No, it was an absolute action-packed race, and as I say, we did see a few battles between yourself and some of the other drivers. But congratulations on getting that third step on the podium.
Thank you, boys.
Anything to add, Diggle?
To be fair, you mentioned the strategy. I think there must be something about this track that you like. P2 last season, P3 this season. You're definitely not afraid to get your elbows out with some of the faster guys. What is it? Is Monza one of your specialist tracks? Are there any secrets we need to know?
I mean, it's just one of one of the tracks I like. It's like Britain. It's just, yeah, obviously the tracks you like, you play them more, and you're obviously better than them. But yeah, I do like Monza. But it's always one or the other. You either have a good result or end up in a barrier. So,
Well, there was definitely something playing there.
But you've definitely got some fans here because you've got Housey going, Mikey G in the place.
Nice. Yeah, he's the one that initiated Mikey G.
Yeah, I think I remember that stream when they were saying it's your DJ name, Mikey G.
Yeah.
No, but congratulations on your third place finish here at Monza. We would go to Wouter, but he's not joined us in the commentary room. Whether he's going to jump in or not, we don't know. But we do have our first place finisher, and likely to be tied or only a point difference between himself and Peas. We have Death Dragon here for the race winner. How are you doing, Death Dragon?
Yes, I'm doing brilliant, mate. My best finish. Best finish I've ever
had. Yeah, well, it was incredibly close. Can you talk us through the last 2 laps there? Because you did pit for the soft tyres.
Yeah, I pitted indeed for the soft tires because I found straight line speed was pretty good. So if I get it for the corners as well, it would be a big advantage. And between me and Wouter, I kept a bit of a gap at the restart. And I think Glock, who was leaning and who was about to do the restart, I think the game slowed him down. And that's probably why everyone suddenly got so bunched up. And then he could speed up again. But because I kept that gap, I had a lot more speed with me. And I could immediately pass a couple of them and be brave on the brakes. Did get hit in the rear a little bit, but nothing too much. Then after that, kept it clean and just made sure I took it home. Didn't expect to P1 here.
No, it's I don't think anybody expected everything that happened in that race, but it was such a phenomenon to watch. Yes, congratulations, and I bet you're looking now at the title race between yourself and Pease.
I've been looking at it sometime, but keeping it more behind me. But I am realizing it's starting to get closer and closer.
Well, I think this finish now, yourself in first, Pease in fourth. You're only 1 point behind him for the driver title.
Yeah, this is what I needed. I really needed it, so I'm glad I got it.
Well, we've got round 9, 10. Oh, we've got how many races? 4 races left. 5 races left.
Try that again. We got 5 in a sprint.
5 in a sprint. I'm glad someone's here to help me. Anything to add, Diggle?
I do need to quickly ask. Yeah, I was going to have to ask in regards to that DJ that the restart you had. I was on board with. I think it was like I think it might have been Mike G or someone. I looked behind and you were half over the white line, shooting past cars up the inside into turn 1. As soon as you had made the move, you just set your sight to the next car and you just pushed and pushed and pushed. When you got out in front, though, was it something that you realised that when you had the likes of Glock and Wouter and that, was it a sigh of relief when you realised there was a bit of a moment there between them, or were you aware that even happened?
I wasn't really aware, but especially at the restart, I just thought I need to be focused on the brakes and the braking point to make sure that I will be in front of them, but also don't get damaged or anything. And after turn 2, then I thought, okay, now it's the time to fully push. Don't look behind, only forward.
Well, it definitely paid off, and I mean, how good are you around Australia? Because like Bloom's saying, you're bringing the fight to Pease. It's coming to the end of the season. Are we going to see this come to head? Like, can you do this?
It's always a question, but I'm definitely gonna give it a shot. It won't go down without a fight, that's for sure.
No,
I don't think we'd want to see that without a fight or the fans watching on the stream either, to be fair, especially after this evening.
Yeah.
Well, there were definitely some drivers who felt like they had a fight in that race. A few incidents. Steward's room, I think, is already lighting up. So, yes, we will leave it there. And we will see you next week for Formula 4, unless proceedings change. But we will let everybody know what's happening next week. But yes, lots of action. Got to mention as well, driver of the day, Just Mikey, hasn't joined us in the commentary box, but what a phenomenal race that driver had to finish 5th, and we believe to have had his first Q3 appearance this season. So congratulations to last season's Pot 4 champion, still not bitter at all. But yes, congratulations to him and the other driver of the day contenders, because we did see some phenomenal racing there. So and that's it. We'll see you all next week. Love you. Bye.